We have a 49ers news alert coming your way as they have made a notable addition to their practice squad with a player that Kyle Shanahan knows very well. Also on the back end of the show, have to show some love to Talanoa Hufanga, who up to this point has been one of the best defensive players, not just on the Niners, in the National Football League. First, though, 49ers Report presented by True Classic Tees. They have everything that you need to add and spice up your wardrobe that looks fashionable, very comfortable, and for affordable prices. 25% off your order if you use that link at the bottom of your screen, trueclassictees.com/chat. Don't forget to use the promo code chat for that deal to apply. We'll tell you more about them here in just a couple of minutes. So the running back carousel for San Francisco continues as the 49ers, according to reports, have signed Tevin Coleman to their practice squad. A pretty notable name who's been in the league for a long time, 29 years old, played last year with the New York Jets, but it's a player that Kyle Shanahan knows very well, and a player who yesterday the 49ers worked out, and last week they thought about bringing in. Now they made it official. Marlon Mack goes up to the 53-man roster, Tevin Coleman to the practice squad, and has a lot of familiarity with head coach Kyle Shanahan because when he was the offensive coordinator with the Atlanta Falcons, Tevin Coleman played really well. Then when Shanahan came over to San Francisco, took over as head coach in 2017, a couple years later, 49ers brought in Tevin Coleman as that dual threat back who can run the football but also flourish with catching it. He spent 2 seasons with the Niners, the first one very good, the second one injury plagued, and then last year spent some time with the New York Jets. Now, you look at his numbers from 2016 to 2018. These are his per season averages and the best stretch of his career. So that's really what we're operating under here. And he was really good doing a bunch of different things, right? In that time span, average per year, 144.5 carries, 623 yards. He's never been that number one running back, kind of lacks the size to do that, but a backup who gives you that versatile type of punch, he brings that to the table. 623 yards. Touchdowns average during that span, nearly 6 of them. Yards per carry, pretty solid. North of 4 is always a number that you want to look at the very least. But also, he is a receiving threat coming out of the backfield, into the flat, on some of those screen passes, on some of those wheel routes. You can use him in a variety of ways. Same thing here. Per season averages from 2016 to 2018 average nearly 38-plus targets per season. Receiving yards or receptions just shy of 28, receiving yards 294, and 3 touchdowns. So that goes to show you that he can do a little bit of everything if he gets elevated to the 49ers 53-man roster. And then last year, obviously the play has gone downhill just a bit. So too has the production with that, as you're looking at a running back who's entering that danger zone in his late 20s at 29. And obviously those guys who are in their early 30s still producing, very few and far between. Not everybody can be Frank the Tank, Frank Gore. But last year, 84 carries with the Jets, 356 yards. Yards per carry, pretty solid. Still above 4 and 11 receptions as well. And I know a lot of you are watching this show right now saying, okay, so it's really impressive how under head coach Kyle Shanahan, basically every running back who's on this roster ends up producing. That's the beauty of this scheme with all of the offensive line movement that we see, all of the pre-snap motion, the confusion that causes opposing defenses, and the creativity that comes with the plays that Kyle Shanahan runs and calls for his running back. So a lot of these guys end up getting digits, and they put up big numbers like Coleman did in Atlanta and for a short time in San Francisco. Along that same thought, though, almost every single running back in this system gets hurt. That can be happenstance. That can be bad luck. That can be because San Francisco plays a very, very physical style of football, which you don't often always see in 2022, today's pass-happy NFL. I like the system. It's proven that it works. And I'm operating under the premise when I build my football teams, you don't need to pay big money for running backs. You don't need to take one in the first round. Never pay one more than $10 million per year. Why is that? Because if you're Kyle Shanahan, you can plug and play these guys, find them in the mid to later rounds, UDFAs, pick them off the scrap heap, and I won't be surprised at all if Marlon Mack this upcoming week against Denver, after he got elevated to the active roster, and at some point Tevin Coleman also produces for San Francisco. So right now, I want you to get into the comment section right now and offer your thoughts about this signing. I mean, we're talking about practice squad players here. This is about as good as it gets. Established veteran who's been around and knows the system really well. A, B, C, D, or F, let me know in the comment section. And while you're scrolling down there, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're really making moves here on the San Francisco 49ers Report. Videos every single day. Lock us in, youtube.com/49ers TV, and when breaking news happens, analysis ASAP. 49ers running back depth chart going into this Week 3 game against Denver at 1-1. Both teams even up at 500, so this is going to be a really monster game for both San Francisco as well as Denver. Jeff Wilson's going to get the start. I would go Jordan Mason as RB2. Won't surprise me one bit if Kyle Shanahan goes to Marlon Mack before he goes to Jordan Mason just because of the experience factor there. Look, Mack is a good player. More than 1,000 rushing yards back in 2019, but these are going to be your 3 running backs, no doubt, come Sunday in the Mile High City in Denver as Jimmy Garoppolo gets his first start of the 2022 campaign. As I mentioned off the top of the show, 49ers Report presented by True Classic Tees, and really, they have everything. Nice golf polo with awesome, comfortable material like this that's really high quality for affordable prices, or these t-shirt packs, which are really tight around the arms, but also a little bit loose fitting around the waist because they're designed to make you look good, whether you're skinny, whether you're a little bit large, or either way, nothing wrong with that. Also, they're starting to sell shorts, they're starting to sell jeans, they're taking over the fashion game. And if you want to add to your fashionista approach, you can do so 25% off using the promo code chat at trueclassictees.com/chat. Gonna put that link in the comment section and the description of this video. You know how girls have those push-up bras? Well, men, we have these shirts that are nice and tighty around the chest to make us look maybe a little bit swole than we actually are, like me right now. All right, to Talanoa Hufanga right now. Shout out my own body type. Hufanga has been balling, and I want to pose this question. Let me know in the comment section. Think about this, right? Has Talanoa Hufanga been the 49ers defensive MVP through 2 games? You match what he's done and the impact that he's had with Nick Bosa, it's very, very close. But point here being, Nick Bosa and Talanoa Hufanga have been the Niners' 2 best defensive players, in my opinion. Fred Warner there as well, as he just ranges sideline to sideline vertically as well, just being a menace on the defensive side of the football. But you look at what Talanoa Hufanga has done in the first 2 games. He has literally been everywhere, making huge plays, whether it's against the pass, against the run. 17 total tackles, 3 tackles for losses. He's been active behind the line of scrimmage, 3 pass breakups, and an interception. And according to Pro Football Focus, he is the number 2 highest graded safety in the NFL. So it's not only the fact that he is passing the eye test, the numbers have been there, the data has been there to back up that Talanoa Hufanga is already on his way to becoming a 5th-round steal for San Francisco with this John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, Adam Peters regime. I mean, number 2 behind Minkah Fitzpatrick, ahead of Mike Edwards, ahead of Jamal Adams, who's now, of course, lost for the year. Another surprise, though, for the 49ers. Tashaun Gibson, the 5th highest graded safety according to Pro Football Focus throughout the first couple of weeks. And just some takeaways with what we've seen from Hufanga. Going to USC, or at USC, coming out of USC, I should have said, he wasn't a crazy athlete who had that ridiculous athletic profile. He didn't run a crazy 40-yard dash. But go back and the receipts are there. When he was selected, I said, this is a really good draft selection for where you got him at the 5th round. And his instincts are absolutely awesome. He can diagnose plays before they happen. He can have that genie in the bottle type of mentality and vision for what's about to transpire and happen. Just has a really good feel for the game. He's physical, but he plays fast, even if he lacks that 40-yard dash, which sometimes we make too much of a deal of, right? And Hufanga has just mastered this defensive system and has been so reliable on the back end. And this is without Jimmy Ward playing. This is without San Francisco really unleashing Drake Jackson up to this point because Samson Ebukam and Charles Omenihu have been playing great football in front of Drake Jackson. So this Niners defense is loaded. They are number 1 in a couple of categories. Looking forward to hitting some of those numbers probably on Thursday's show. But Hufanga, he's been leading the charge there. So I want to hear from you one more time. Who's been the Niners' best defender? Bosa, Warner, Hufanga? Let me know down below in the comment section. Join the conversation because your football intellect is certainly valued here as compared to other YouTube channels out there. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. As always, appreciate all of you for tuning in to this 49ers News Alert. And, of course, San Francisco. We out ya.